Everyone, good morning or afternoon or evening, depending where you're joining us today from. I want to welcome you all today to our webinar on the topic Practical Tips for Content and Commerce. In this webinar, we will learn how to integrate commerce capabilities with a CMS and how it will allow you to provide a better shopping experience for your users while improving your website sales performance. You will also discover how a unified solution can be ideal for B2B projects with a 10-minute demo of easy commerce. Our speakers today are Nathan Vassit, who is a front-end and JavaScript developer at Vassit. He's a well-rounded full-stack developer with a keen interest in visual design, brand, and UX. He's customer-focused. Nathan has worked across different sectors and is always driven to improve the design and development process. Our second speaker is Jean-Claude Pinchot, a business development lead at Easy Systems. Jean-Claude has helped build global leadership for 3 digital platforms, Easy Platform, Drupal Commerce, and Platform SH. He has built content, cloud, and commerce expertise at 7 venture-backed companies, as well as at Tilia Sonora and Orange. He has managed international startups and scaled up activities and has enjoyed helping clients solve problems, as well as leading teams in various languages. Before we get started, I want to quickly go over a few housekeeping items. All the participants have been muted in order to avoid any background noise. We also encourage you to submit any questions or comments via the Zoom chat box that you may have, and we will address them at the end during our Q&A session. At the end of the webinar, we will send all registrants of the webinar a follow-up email with the webinar recording, as well as links to the slides and a brochure of the solutions we present here today. And with that, I would like to give the stage to our first speaker, Nathan. So I'll stop sharing, and Nathan, you can start sharing your screen.
Thank you, Amit. I'm going to try and share my screen now. Okay, is my screen visible?
Yes, it's visible.
Yeah, okay, perfect. Okay, so as Amit mentioned, I'm Nathan Nelson. I'm a UX designer. I'm a front-end developer at Vassit, and I'm going to talk a little bit about some of the recurring challenges that we have seen working with our clients in our areas of expertise. Also going to look a little bit and discuss how we handled the challenges that became apparent. So here's the agenda. We'll cover a little bit about CMS in general before looking at a case study and handing over to Easy to have a look at some UX and UI examples. So when a business decides to introduce a new CMS, it's typically a pretty involved process, especially if the business has a strong focus on content, SEO, lead generation via the website. From a technical perspective, you could be dealing with a new programming language, new server infrastructure, new technical teams, processes, workflow deployments, etc. And this creates a big challenge for the business, who naturally see it as an opportunity to reinvent or reimagine their branding, their processes, their workflows, their content approaches. And sometimes, but rarely, a CMS change is a simple migration of content and functionality from A to B. But more likely, however, there's a large internal business change required to go along with these functional aspects. I'm talking about hiring, reorganization of teams, budget reallocations, training and upskilling, dealing with new partners or rebranding, stuff like that. And what we've seen with our clients is that actually, as we begin to talk about how their new product is going to work and what the requirements are, that often they're ill-equipped and ill-prepared from a staffing and process perspective. So of course, as the integrators, we have to ask a lot of these important questions, as we're finding more and more that as much as a client wants a lift and shift, it's our job to educate and prepare them for the challenges of actually having all of this new functionality available to them. And the largest challenges for us often involve clients that have siloed teams. So the reasons for this can be numerous, different markets, different offices, among other things, are all reasons why company silos may develop. But it can also boil down to simply having worked for years with different products as well. And there's some examples here of the effects of silos. So collaboration issues aren't always measurable, but for sure they are noticeable within a working environment, both by the employees and the executives as well. So I'm going to present a relatively recent case study. For us, it proved to be an interesting project as we were able to see some of the positives of unification. And then there are also the drawbacks of having to build out these integrations where we did deal with what was a separate entity. We worked quite extensively with a large telco client for a new CMS integration. So the project was pretty big. It involved 2 markets, global and regional. It was multi-language and required multi-site instances as well. And the first issue that became apparent was that the 2 markets had very little communication between each other. So they each had their own separate teams across the disciplines. And we had signed up to do the CMS integration, but that proved to be actually the more straightforward part. The real challenge involved creating a single unified solution that would satisfy both parts of the business. So we had to quickly adjust our approach to consider how to best align the 2 parties in terms of requirements, but also thinking about platform parity. And in this case, we would actually be providing extra functionality for both of the markets. So for example, global wanted content personalization. So as a consequence, the local market would also receive this feature. As the local market didn't have a team in place to work with this new functionality, we had to advise them on the benefits and discuss if or when a team would be put in place to deal with this. Or the local market wanted pop-up subscription forms, and global again wasn't sure how to utilize this capability. And we had occurrences like this throughout the project. So 2 separate teams accustomed to doing the same or similar things, but in different ways and in need of constant alignment. We could, of course, just simply deliver the features and leave it to the client to sort it out. But we made a concerted effort to connect different markets and to help them collaborate together. And what we were discovering was that in this instance, a single unified CMS solution was driving and providing a lot of benefits regarding aligning the business strategies between the markets, but also driving efficiencies, collaboration, and holistic workflows that tended to last. And from a KPI perspective, we can see some of the benefits here as well. So when I talk about a unified solution in this project, I'm referring to bringing different markets together. But beyond the CMS unification, we had a major sticking point, and that was e-commerce. And unlike other areas of integration, which require only a business decision along with some internal reshuffling, to have a fully integrated e-commerce solution is simply not possible within most CMS products. And the irony was that from the start, e-commerce elements were totally outside the scope of the project. And you can see in the diagram sort of how it sat or didn't sit within the system. And with this client, we had 2 completely different e-commerce systems for each of the markets, meaning 2 sets of integration challenges. And ironically, something that was outside of the scope of the project proved to have a very strong business and technical impact. And it came with its own unique set of issues. So how do you test? How do you align design elements? How do you ensure synchronization across products? And you can see here that we had a lot of extra problems, some of which, funnily enough, we had eliminated by aligning and unifying the markets with the CMS. And some of these problems actually started to reappear when we started to look at the e-commerce integration. So in terms of doing development work again, or workflows that sit outside the product. So we took quite a few extra steps in order to help with the integration. A lot of the work simply involved getting the right people in the right place, so breaking up the silos that had developed between the e-commerce and the CMS teams. Also creating new workflows that provided both teams with visibility, rather than simply having one team work on something up to a point and then just handing it over to the next team to deal with. But the business still has to spend time and resources with these integrations, right? It's not a zero-sum game, so they still have some pain. And the end product ultimately can and often does bear resemblance to the underlying structure. So if you have a different CMS and a different e-commerce system, chances are that the UX across both of these systems is a tough thing to get consistent. And on that note, I'm going to hand over to Jean-Claude at Easy to talk a bit more about this. So, thank you.
Thank you very much, Nathan. Jean-Claude, I'm going to share my screen. Right, can you see it? Yes. So Nathan, you spoke about your recent project experience with the unification of the CMS across countries and divisions, and the disintegration of content and commerce into different separate solutions. So what we are going to see now is how we can solve those issues from a technology standpoint, meaning how you can, from the beginning of the project, bring a unified solution to the clients, not only from a multi-site or multi-country or multi-language point of view, but also from a multi-function point of view, including content and commerce in one single unified solution, and eventually integrating B2B and B2C in one unified solution as well, and eventually integrating B2B2B or B2B2C if you want to do marketplace or dealers portals for your dealers. So we are Easy System. We are a 20 years old software publisher. Our first name was Easy Publish, and we've been for the last 20 years on the market, and with probably around 20,000 clients with a hybrid model. It's both open source and it is full screen. Yeah, we'll go full screen. And it is also on the enterprise side with an enterprise solution, which allows you, which gives you an SLA plus specific advanced features for easier publication of the content. So this is the content solution, which we call Z Platform, and we have, in partnership with a German company, developed commerce solution, which has been on the market for the past 15 years, and which is a fully featured e-commerce solution. It's also fully integrated with Z Platform, and it targets both B2C commerce and B2B commerce, B2B being more specific with ERP, PM, and CRM connectors. This may not be the key topic of this presentation, but we will now focus on the intersection between content and commerce. Just one last point to say that on a technical basis, we are using a well-known framework, which is Symfony. We are a full stack Symfony framework user, meaning that you can use bundles or competencies from the Symfony community for any of our Easy platform or Easy Commerce products. This being said, let's go directly into a few client cases. I'm going to try to show the actual implementation which have been made by a few clients in the B2B space, for example. And I'm going to talk about engagement, information architecture, merchandising, user experience, and cost of operation, and of course, time to market. Time to market is probably, of course, the first benefit when it comes to having a unified solution. This site, Burkert, was built approximately, I think, in 6 months. And the other quotes that the client had received was probably around 2 times more. We were talking of rather 9 to 12 months to build the equivalent with separate technologies. Gaining on time to market is one, of course, of the benefits, and gaining on integration costs. But as we'll see, it's also about engagement, especially when you are on the B2B space. You are not going to buy your products as an impulse. You are going to really ask your supplier to provide a lot of information about who the company is. So that's why on this website, you have not only the product, but everything is available about the company and how you can be supported as client by this potential supplier. So you want to build a long-term relationship with your supplier, you definitely need a lot of information from this potential supplier, and this is what this website is providing. This is what I call engagement. And if you want to actually try it, for example, by doing a search on one keyword, you will see that it returns really a lot of information, and in different categories. So you will get information about the company itself, about the news, about the references. Of course, you'll get the information about the products, and you can get lots of downloads in order to get information about the search that you have made. So all this is available from here. And this is an information architecture, which is also very useful when it comes to very complex products, very sophisticated products, like those B2B products. If you go, for example, to one of these products, you will see how one single product can use a lot of content when it comes to merchandising. This valve, for example, will require, let's go for it. This single product will show here 3 documents for datasheets, 1 document for conformity or compliance, and 1 flyer and catalog. And this is available, of course, in different languages. So you can see that just for 1 SKU, you have here, including languages, 2, 4, 7, 9 pieces of content that you have to manage. And then you know that you have several 100,000 SKUs on this site, which gives you a way to imagine how many pieces of content you need to fluently and efficiently manage when it comes to doing actual merchandising on this website. And incidentally, if you wanted, of course, to search on the products, that's something that you could do. This site has been built with 500 facets, actually, when it comes to search. So what you see here at the intersection of content and commerce is that commerce is not really only about product, it's also really a lot about content. You will see here, for example, when I'm doing a search on this product, I am offered 78 facets in my search. And as I was saying, there are 500 which are available in total on this site. So that's really a site which I find very instructive in the way they have meshed content and commerce. And I was doing kind of curious to look for their competitors on Google, and I was able to find maybe it's a competitor, maybe it's a distributor, I really don't know, but they are advertising on the name of the company Burkert themselves. And you can see here the difference when you go to this other company, where you only have the actual products. So you don't have any content about the company, just 1 page of content about Burkert. And when you do a search on the same keyword, like fluid, like this, of course, this site will return products to you. This is what it does. But then what kind of information are you going to get? You don't get actual information from this site. You get a price, you get some kind of picture, but there is no way for you to educate your decision, to compare, or to get just informed about the product that you are going to buy. So this can be very critical when you have distributors and you want to control the way that your product is being distributed. Then you may want to enter in some form of marketplace agreement with them. When you want to protect yourself from imitations, This will be also facilitated by having a site which is highly differentiated as this one, by mixing the actual products that other people can sell with the content that you are the only company that can provide them. This is one example more from the front office side. I'm going to pick up now a few more examples, but from a demo site that we have, which is an e-commerce site, an e-commerce demo. So now we can go, because this is a demo site, we can go to the back office. And what you see on this back office of the store is that we have actually this hybrid animal, which is both for content management and for commerce management. So yes, it is for content, because if you go, for example, to the list of content items of content types which are here, you can see that this site has been populated with landing pages, with folders, with articles, but also with products. And the products that you can see here are those that are in the front office. Products are here just one content object treated as any article or any type of other type of content which are available from the website. So for example, if you go to this product, you will get all going to the intersection of content and commerce. This is a product, but you still get all the information related to the content of this product, how many versions you have, which locations it has on the website, what are the other pages or other products which are using this product, this content object in terms of relation, what are the translations available, and the commerce functions are there also. So this is a very interesting way, because of course, when you are using the edit features of this product, then you can also add a lot of content to the product itself. You will be able here, for example, to add any type of image, any type of feature that you will see from the content tree, which means that that's not a demo that we want to do now because we want to go fast. But basically, by doing that, you will be able to actually improve the SEO of your products by adding lots of text, by adding lots of images. This will improve the referencing, the search engine optimization, and the merchandising of your products as well, by using this these content features into the product itself. So you can see that we have a content site, we have a product with products treated as content, and we have also vice versa a commerce site. It's all available in the same back office with a cockpit of e-commerce features that you can see here, and those are standard commerce features which we can demonstrate in a later webinar. But you have actually two solutions at once available from the back office. So we have seen how we could go from the product to the content by adding content to the product. The search would work the same way. So the search, as we did on the front office of Burkhardt, the search will return both the products and the content, but from the back office side this time. What is interesting is you can see, for example, here that going back to the front office of the store, you can also monetize product. Those are articles in the website. And in one of these articles, for example, kitchen remodeling, we have included products which are ready for monetization. So this can be a way to drive your buyers by attracting them with interesting articles on topics of interest or technical topics, or it can be a way for you if you have, for example, premium content, that you can bring short versions as a text, and then you can sell or monetize the rest of the content by adding a product in one of those content elements. And when you just click on this add to basket feature, which is a standard commerce feature, you will have all the commerce features which will be made available for you. That is wish list, compare list, quick order, stored baskets, and so on, which will allow your users to buy any product from the actual front office of the store and from a piece of content that you have defined. Just to finish on this, it's interesting also to see that even the users themselves are treated as content objects. So you can see that we have lots of different content types in the CMS. It's a very flexible solution that can be customized. So you can define any type of content that you want and group them. You have also very granular permission roles and permission that you can allocate to each type of content. And the users themselves, as I was saying, are just one type of content. So if you go, for example, to shop users, you will see that your actual clients are part of this content tree, and you will go from this content object, which is this user, to the commerce dimension. By going into commerce, you will see how much this person, this client, has generated in terms of transaction or orders over a given period of time. So with this short demonstration, I was trying to show how clients were able to save time and integration costs by having one unified solution for content and commerce, and how, so this is more on the CTO side and CIO side, probably in terms of integration, and moving to other persona like chief digital officer or chief marketing officer. They will be improving their day-to-day work with a better engagement for their clients, with a lower marketing costs because of a better SEO, with a better user experience, with a more searchability for their products, and why not with new business models like generating dealers portals for their dealers, or B2B2C or B2B2B model using this type of solution. So this was a general presentation of the content and commerce dimensions of Easy Platform and Easy Commerce. And with Nathan, we'd be very happy to take any question that you might have.
Okay, thank you, Jean-Claude. Thank you, Nathan. So we will now open the stage to any questions that the audience may have. If you can please, if you have any questions, if you could submit them through the Q&A and not through the chat, and then I can read them off, and one of the panelists can actually answer them. So let me give a sec. Let me see if there's any questions submitted. Okay. Jean-Claude, can you maybe explain a little what are some of the other features that are available with the solution that relate to B2B projects?
Sure. Is this a question? Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, you have actually, so on the cockpit side, this is a demo interface, but it's of course highly customizable for each store on the commerce side. You have also the possibility actually to view the list of orders by going again in a customized way for different presentation. There would be two ways to obtain this information. So now we are more talking of actual commerce rather than content features. Either you would obtain this directly from the ERP if you have a deep integration. This is what is possible with Easy Commerce. Or if you want a lighter integration, you can also apply just CSV integration. And then in a batch mode, you will get information about orders, about prices, and about actual prices, in fact. You can also, you have a customized pricing, which can be interesting, of course, in the B2B space. So if you go, for example, I'm hoping that this example will work. But this product, for example, when you are logged in as admin, let's say you are a given client which has been granted this specific price of 239 euros. And if I just log out from the store, you will see that probably the price is going to be different for the same product, meaning that in a B2B acceptance, you will be able to customize your price list. This is what we show here, because the price has been moved from 239 to 284. So you have the possibility to apply individual price list to your price catalog. And what is a differentiating point on the commerce side is that the price list is the price from your ERP. So it's imported actually from the ERP. Unlike other commerce solutions, we don't impose the organization of the price holds in the commerce solution itself. We can just import it out of the ERP, which is again more convenient, and it's saving time and money regarding integration for the client itself. I think that's that's something which we wanted to show also. It's about the ERP integration, so that's something which needs to be reconnected. So this is a differentiating feature for easy commerce. That's possibility to have ERP, PIM, and CRM integration. So again, this will be an optional part of the product, but you will have the possibility to provide real-time information to your clients by integrating with ERP on a real-time basis to provide prices, individual price stocks, delivery times, all type of production information to your clients. I think that's a really high-level overview of the actual commerce functions. On the content side, as I was showing, we have this CMS tool, which is the base of the solution, which is called Easy Platform, which allows you to edit the content objects in a very user-friendly mode. We have also the Easy Studio or page mode, which brings to you pre-programmed, let me do it in German probably. It's bringing to you a few pre-programmed functions, which can be extremely useful if you want to delegate the management of your website to non-technical people. So basically, in a very short and synthetic way, you will see that your team can have access to those pre-programmed functions. They allow them to add any type of banner, video, or gallery, or eventually product slider into the landing page. And this they can do without any technical manipulation, because those pre-programmed blocks are available for them right here. Your agency can design new blocks, obviously, and customize them, but it will always be in a way to give access to the back office in a user-friendly and non-technical way for the user. You also have the possibility to schedule the content that you want to show with this content scheduler block. And you will see here actually the actual scheduling of the content, which will show on a calendar actually what is going to be shown, and different events will show here when content will be shown or will be disappearing up to the desire of the content managers. This can be extremely useful on the commerce side. For example, if you want to program in advance a promotion or merchandising of specific products in relation to, let's say, Christmas or New Year's Eve or any specific commercial event. Getting to the content features also, you have the possibility to collaborate. So anything that you want to publish, you can send before to an actual team member that will receive a notification, and that will be added the reviewer of your content. So this will help you to build the actual workflows, and you will have also the possibility beforehand, before publication, to actually visualize your page in different edit modes, either as a tablet or as a smartphone, so that you can see the rendering under the responsive design features that are embedded into this solution. So this is a short overview of both the commerce and the content feature, the key features that are available from this website. This can be managed by literally hundreds of people. On the content side, we have clients like big media company from Japan, where 140 redactors are using the website, and you can do this in a very granular way by allocating permissions at different levels of the website itself. And this can be made available for as many countries, as many languages as you need. We have a content company called research institute in France called EMEA, where they have, I think, 600 websites on the same instance, and they give permissions to researchers in order to create blog pages or event pages on almost on the fly basis. So that's a quick overview of both the content and the commerce features of the product.
Okay, thank you, Jean-Claude. I don't see any other questions submitted, so I think we can wrap up the webinar. As I mentioned before, I will be emailing all the registrants a link where they can have access to the webinar recording. They will also receive this link to the slides that will be available on SlideShare, as well as a brochure of easy commerce that they can review and read a little about a few of the capabilities that are offered with this solution. So first, I want to thank our two speakers, Nathan and Jean-Claude, for doing a presentation and speaking on this topic today. And as well as thank you to everyone who joined us from around the world. Thank you very much, and I hope you have a great day wherever you may be. Thank you.